Finally. Jeez. What a day, man. I was trying to be here 2 hours ago. I've been fighting with OBS for 2 hours. I started doing a VHS to digital for my sister. She got a whole bunch of VHS tapes from when she was little. Trying to convert those over. I'm getting it done. But I was using OBS to do it, and for some reason, OBS changed all my settings, so I had to basically rebuild everything. It was a pain in the ass. Grrr. I need to find a different program to use instead of that. It was doing a great job, but fucked everything up, man. How was your weekend, guys? What'd you do? How did you do? Saturday was a fun day. It was our daughter's birthday. She turned 17. She wanted to go do some zip lines and some tree climbing and shit like that. I thought that I was going to be fine. This shit turned into like Ninja Warrior. Oh man, I'm all beat up. You can kind of see my arms. Oh man, it hurts. See that? Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. I'm sorry, baby. The wife and I yesterday were like, oh, we can't do anything. It was a lot of fun though. It was a hell of a workout. I told the wife, I was like, my eyes were bigger than my abilities. But I kept up with the youngins. I kept up with the 20-something-year-olds. So I feel good about that. So yesterday was a recovery day. Got a handful of things done. Like I said, I was doing some VHS transfer, and I had a good time with that. This morning, I finished that up. Well, I finished the last super VHS tape, the little one. Now I got to get to the full size. And that's when everything kind of like went sideways. So fun, right? Smokey, it's raining cats and dogs today. I'm assuming it's the same for you. No, actually, it rained on Saturday and a little bit yesterday. That was it. Just a little bit. Now we're not looking at rain until Thursday, I think. So we should be good for the next few days. Louis, thank you for the resubby, brother. Hells yeah, brother. How you been, Louis? Hey, Louis, did you see that Pete got me to play PUBG last week? Monday and Tuesday, we went hard, man. It was a great time. It was a good time. Time expired. Good to see you. Welcome. Overweight boys who stink. I grinded the hell out of Pal World while watching the Peanut. That shit can be brutal. I had done it years ago. Many years ago. There's one a little closer to home, but it's kind of smaller, you know? It wasn't quite as big as the one we went to on Saturday. So my perception was off. They had 4 levels. They had yellow was your easy, green was your medium, blue was your hard, and then the black was the advanced course. And I did 2 of the 4 yellows, 1 of the 4 greens, and as soon as they opened up blue, we were all over it. And I did all 4 of the blues, all the hard ones. We never made it to the advanced one because we only had 3 hours. But it was a lot of fun. I wouldn't have gone on it anyhow. After doing the 4 blue ones, which were the hard ones, there's no way I was doing the advanced. It was just crazy, dude. Crazy. Just trying to figure out what the fighting in OBS looks like. What game am I playing today? We're gonna play a lot of different things. So I was gonna get into this. We've been talking, physical versus digital. I have 3 hard drives here that are basically emulation stations, basically. So I was gonna just kind of jump into these and talk about. Even I know I've seen a lot of people talking about once PlayStation gets rid of discs, their threat is they're just going to leave the ecosystem altogether. We're going to go back to playing their retro games physically. And I'm over here going, bro, you're doing it wrong. I got it all digital, man. The future is digital. Everywhere, man. Welcome back. I did not, unfortunately, I'll check the vlog. There you go, brother. Audio kept cutting out on YouTube. That's not good. Come on, YouTube, get it together. Could be something on my end, but if the audio is good on this, it should be good on that. Again, all of my fucking settings changed, so I had to change everything back, and I think I got everything. Everything looks good. I mean, it even changed my resolution. It kicked it down to fucking 1080p, so I had to change that. Let's see. What does it say for YouTube right now? It says that YouTube is getting 128. Why? Let's go 160. That was weird. Yeah, it even changed some of my settings in the multi-stream app. So anyhow. Better. Okay. Audio is good here, so maybe on YouTube it was like someone was flipping a toggle switch on your mic. Oh, that is weird. Could be. Not sure. Mark for Life, good morning, man. Congrats on your win over the weekend. And Gin Blossoms. Spin Doctors. Talk about a reach back in time there, man. That's considered classic rock now, isn't it? Fun concert. Man, I've been to a concert in a long time. I couldn't even tell you the last one I went to. Okay. Hopefully everything's working now. Hopefully. So, there was a couple things I wanted to chat about. I was going to put it in Discord, but I don't want to, I don't like spreading rumors. And this one seemed more like a rumor, but I wanted to talk about it just to see what you guys are seeing out there. A lot of clickbait going on right now. Everyone and their baby mama's trying to be an influencer / digital creator. So there's a lot of misinformation out there because everyone wants you to click on their shit. But supposedly some known leaker got their hands on a disc to digital roadmap from Microsoft. And the roadmap's already off because they said that a lot of stuff was going to happen in July, and then basically it's coming out this month. At some point this month, the disc to digital program is coming out in a beta form or something. Last month it was supposed to be more of a closed ecosphere, but we would have heard something if that's true. So I don't really trust it. But the one thing I took away from this is we had talked about the possibility of this happening, which we know it's going to, but how is it going to work? They're saying that it's going to, it's the way it's worded is it gives the developers, the publishers, the ability to charge you to do this, which doesn't sound right at all. That doesn't sound right. That sounds like a way to just kind of get people angry. Again, clickbait. So I don't know. I mean, I'm trying to put some thought into this. Okay. So the disc to digital program, if it worked the way that we had originally thought, or at least I did, that was like the genius plan. The only way it wouldn't work is if there isn't a unique identifier on each individual disc. If there's no way to tell the discs apart, then that whole platform falls apart. So if this is not a Microsoft thing, but it's a publisher is the one that's going to do this, I don't see that being a viable option. I don't see this at all. That sounds weird to me. And if someone already has the physical disc and they're already mad that you're getting rid of the physical, why would you charge them extra to turn it into a digital license when they don't want it in the first place? Now, if this was a free program, which I thought it was originally, it may still be, we don't know yet. That makes more sense. because you pop it in there, you get your license off the damn thing, you put your disc back in the case, you put it in your closet, and you get to keep it. And it doesn't change hands. As long as that disc doesn't change hands, you always have that game digitally forever. Which sounds awesome, but if you're going to be charged to do it, that doesn't make any sense to me. So I'd already, this whole thing, I'm glad no one else put it up. If you're just now hearing this for the first time, it's probably going to end up going away. But again, some known leaker, this is the problem we have with leakers though, is that you can't really 100% trust what they're putting out there. Sometimes they get it right. A lot of the times they get it wrong. And I think this is one of those that's just wrong. It's not nowhere close to what it's going to end up being. So we'll see. But this month, I was thinking also that like this month is a little early. It's a little soon. We'll probably see it closer to like September-ish. Mid to late September, maybe. Or right around Christmas time. I don't know. We'll see. Depends on how well it's coming. I need more rain so I can go home. I know what you're talking about. I've seen it, but don't trust it because it's what I've seen was just shady, crappy screenshot in a notes application. Yeah. It just, I mean, even just the critical thinking part just doesn't make any sense to me. It just doesn't. I mean, I could see it being a thing, but again, giving the publishers or the developers the ability to charge extra to convert your disc still doesn't make sense to me. Just switch to physical key cards like Nintendo if you want to keep physical games. What's a physical key card? Are you talking about like the little SD cards or whatever that their games are on? I don't know if they'd work. Number one, I don't know if they're fast enough. That was always the problem. That's why in the 90s, we saw the switch from cartridges over to disc because disc could hold video. And that's why, like, as soon as the discs start coming out, it was all VMU games. Every game had to have like little video going on in there, and the music was better and things like that. So, but I don't know. I don't know. I don't know the technology. I don't know what's going on over there. But I would assume that those cards that the Nintendo uses number one, it has to be. There's no way it's cheaper than a disc. It has to be more expensive. And that's what they're trying to get away from. It has nothing to do with the disc itself. It has to do with all that extra money spent that they're wasting on these physical discs. That's the problem. So it's not that. And I also saw that there's like this newer Blu-ray technology that can hold up to like 150 gigs on a disc and blah, blah. It has nothing to do with the space on the disc. It's no one's buying physical. No one's buying physical anymore. So there's no need for it. That's it's not, we need a new technology to carry physical on. It's just, it's not needed anymore. It's time for it to go away. That's the issue. But there's plenty of ways to do it on PC. We've covered this before. You can download the game, save it on a hard drive. You can do this for your console games too. You can download the games, you can transfer them to an external hard drive, set it in the closet, and you always have it. So if the internet goes out, you just plug your fucking hard drive back in your console, you transfer the game over, and boom, you're good to go. So there's ways of preserving games. I see this the word preservation. I see it a lot. But that's one way of doing it. Well, if you're going to leak a document and write it down in your digital notes and then screenshot. Yeah, I mean, it just doesn't sound right. If it was closer to what sounds right to us, I guess, then maybe, but still, like, got to take with a grain of salt. Look at all the DMZ leaks. They've been leaking this. Everything's a leak. DMZ's coming this year. Leaked. It's all leaked. Confirmed. 1-800 confirmed. And then nothing. For years, nothing. So it's kind of how it goes. On the bigger games for Nintendo, gets downloaded on the console, and the cart is just a piece of plastic that says you can play this. Yeah, someone was telling me about that as well. So the carts aren't really even carrying any game around. Which is, I mean, this is, again, discs for the last 10 years. I mean, the disc that you have It has the full game when it went gold, but it doesn't care. Obviously, it doesn't have the day one patch that fixes the game. It doesn't have the DLC. It doesn't have the updates that made the game that fixed all the bugs. You know, there's a lot of things missing there. Now, when I tested this a couple weeks ago, and you'd be surprised how many games when you had the option to go online. Like I was online, I was installing the game. It would tell me like it would take so much off the disc, and then it needed to do a download from the internet. You'd be surprised how many of the games that I was installing from the disc that required a huge download. There was only one game that was less than like 100 megabytes, and that was for Lego Harry Potter. That was it. So that game, you're getting pretty much the full thing. There was probably the 100 megabytes is probably a couple bug fixes, but you're getting pretty much the full game that it never really changed after that. But most other games, they change so much that what's on the disc is irrelevant. And then the other thought that I had is that if you do that, right, and you want to have your disc and you put it in there when the lights go out, whatever, and you're not connected to the internet, you're not getting the updates or whatever, is your game save going to work? Because the game has changed so much. Does your game save work for the old edition, or will it be like game saves are not compatible and then you're kind of screwed either way? So there's a lot of different things that just kind of just don't make sense to me, but I mean, it is what it is. It gets rid of the need for a disk drive and it has resale value. I see what you're saying. But you'd have to have something, right? You'd have to have, how would you put it in the machine? Like via like a USB drive or something? You'd have like a USB adapter, or I see what you're getting at. Yeah, and then you could just trade the little keys. If you want. I mean, yeah. I also saw that it's funny that some of the social media that the people just don't think before they type, but there's a lot of people saying that this is because they want to interrupt the secondhand bubble there. They want the secondhand community. They want to dip in there, and they want to like ruin that. And my thought again is, if they wanted to dip into the secondhand industry, they would have bought GameStop. Right? If someone wants to control after it leaves, after you sell it and someone else has it and then they go resell it, they don't get a piece of that pie, right? I don't really think they give a shit about that, because if they did, they would have bought GameStops, because then that's how you control the whole market. You get the initial sale and then you get every resale after that. So I don't think, again, it doesn't have anything to do with that. I think people are just making this stuff up to make it right in their head. Again, they put the sales out there. They're telling you why they're doing it. And everyone's like, nope, that's not it. No one's buying it anymore. That's why they're not making it anymore. That's end of story. That's it. No conspiracy theories. That's it. Hadn't stopped for me. Doesn't plan on it until like 8 p.m. USB port. Whether they wanted to or not, they will be hurting secondhand. But they don't care. That's the thing. No one. I mean, I can't say no one. I'm sorry. They don't care about secondhand. It doesn't affect them. They don't have any say. They don't have anything to do with it. They just want to be done with it. Again, this is a business decision to save money and increase that bottom line. So the wording, I think that's probably the biggest thing. I think that for the small percentage of people that really want to see physical discs continue on, it's going to go away, right? But for them, I think rewording these clauses or whatever, basically stating that when you purchase something, you own it. I think that's what they want. They just want to see the word they own. They want to see that they own the game. That's what they need. So if they just change their wording, I think everything will be fine. Physical can go away. They can own their games. They already do now. But then they have a little more. They feel like it's not going to be taken away from them. And then everything will be fine. But I mean, this will all pass in time, guys. It'll all pass. Wife, good morning. Congratulations. Can we talk about it now? Can I say something now? Too late? I didn't bother him. It just, oops, you're caught in the net. Yeah, even if I didn't mean to. What do you mean? It don't bother them. It's just a, oops, you're caught in the net. What does that mean? Yeah. No, 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 no. We're done raising kids. We're done. Now we're good. We have one last kid, 1 year, and then she's going to school. She graduates. She's going to be going to college, and then the wife and I can follow our dreams. Well, she's not going to say no. So, my wife was chosen, within the business world here. She was chosen for 40 under 40 people that are making huge moves in the industry under 40 years old. So my wife was picked for 40 under 40. We've known for a few months now, but it was just officially announced today, I do believe. So she's killing it. She's killing it, and it looks like by the end of the year she'll probably be in a different position. And yeah, so the wife is kicking ass, taking names. There's no stopping her. Keep it up. Good job, babe. I need it so I can close up. Just stop by, but supposed to start in 2 hours again. Oh no. That was part of the secondhand discussion. They made a choice and it indirectly affects others, but that's not their concern. Right. I mean, it's not. I mean, again, they don't care about the secondhand market. Once they sell you the product, they don't care what happens to it. And I don't see that being a problem. They're not being smug or anything. It's a business decision, just kind of like Asha's making all these business decisions to save Xbox. We'll see if it works. Also, there's a lot of rumors going around. These people are trying to walk things back right now because they look, they made these huge claims and now they have to make themselves look good to their community. So they're walking a lot of this shit back. I'm seeing a lot of, Steam was initially going to be on the Helix, but Asha is saying no to that, and they're going to change their. It was never going to be on Steam. Steam was never going to be on the Xbox. Never. It was never planned. It was never talked about. It was never an idea. It was never a plan. These people made a huge assumption that didn't pay off for them, and now they're trying to walk things back so they don't look ridiculous. Steam was never going to be on the Xbox, ever. Even when Phil was running the program, there's no reason for it. So anyhow, you in War Dogs this weekend? No, I'll be playing. I'm going to be playing some Gears. I'll be playing Gears this weekend, even if I even get a chance to play. We got a big dinner on Saturday, and then I think we got some stuff going on Sunday. So I want to play some Horde mode. I'm excited about that. It's like a 10 player co-op Horde mode. That sounds like a lot of fun. So we'll see how things go. I'm not really interested. I'll say this now. I'm not really interested in War Dogs. I got into the play test. They had huge problems. No one can get into the fucking thing. They only had like 3 servers up. It was a fucking mess. Anyhow, I got into the server. I kind of figure out what the game is. It's basically King of the Hill. It's like if Hell Let Loose had like a King of the Hill mode, that's kind of what it is. More of a modern day Hell Let Loose, but King of the Hill. I don't know. It seems more like a game mode, not a full. It doesn't feel like a full game. It feels like just a game mode. So I don't know. If it's free to play, I might check it out, but I think they're going to charge for it, and I don't know. It's not. I got in there. I spent 20 minutes by myself because I couldn't get into any servers with people, running into where the circle was, and it took me forever to get there. It's a huge map. And the circle always takes place in, I think, a different spot, or I don't know exactly how that works out, but not a game mode for me. I'm good on that. And then I was in another one. I didn't get a chance to. Project EXT was another one I tried getting to. I just didn't have time for it. I just don't have time to be playing games anymore. It sucks. I yesterday I got a chance to go and play some 007, Bright Light, First Light, whatever the fuck it is. And I had a good time. They added some more the secondary mode or whatever, the whatever it is, MI6 mode or whatever, the training or whatever it is. That was a lot of fun. The problem is they didn't really give us anything. There's like three maps. That's it. So they added 2 more. They added a few more, things to it and whatnot. So I got in there and I was having a good time with that. Those escalation things, kind of like what they do in Hitman. They're pretty fun. So I did that yesterday. Finally got a chance to play a game on a weekend. Well, then I'll skip it. You might like it, bro. It's just not for me. You might like it though. I think a lot of you guys would like it. You got bored with EXT? Yeah. I don't know what happened. I don't think I was able to get in is what it was. I just didn't have the time to play. I mean, I saved everything, because they were doing raffles after, which was kind of cool, giving free shit away, but bro, I watched a lobotomite complaining for 24 minutes about things the woke liberal 343 removed or added to Halo. Nearly everything he listed was a decision that happened in either Halo 1, 2, or 3. Bro was actually out here complaining about the lack of the profits, even though Bungie killed off the profits. We live in a time where everybody feels they have the right to let everyone else know that they're complaining or that they're mad about something. And everybody's woke. Cancel this, cancel that. Woke is, I don't know. It's just crazy to me, man. We always had the saying, if you don't like it, change the channel. What happened? People, they just can't change the channel anymore. They have to complain about it. They have to try to get, to get people to rally on their side that this is wrong and this is right. And, it's just like, can we not all just have different opinions and like different things without everyone yelling at each other? I just don't get it, man. Dave Plouffe, how you doing, man? No, these chuds are just out here fighting ghosts at this point. I don't know, man. I didn't see anything wrong with Halo. I didn't see what everyone else was complaining about. Everything seemed fine to me. I didn't play the main game. I just played the prequel, with Sergeant Johnson, which was fun. There wasn't a lot of it seemed like a lot of the level was copy pasted. It looked like all the same areas, they just kind of seemed regurgitated. And I wasn't really paying attention to the storyline at all. But either way, it was still kind of fun. That was the first game I played mouse and keyboard. First Halo game played mouse and keyboard with, which was pretty cool. And then I fired up a the Master Chief Collection. I downloaded that and started playing that on my PC with controller to see how it felt. It felt great. Playing Halo 4 with well over 60 frames was amazing. Not that I really like Halo 4, but I mean, Halo 4 was probably the best looking Halo on the 360. So I thought it looked really damn good. Hey, it works. I keep getting crashes on the keys level. Got my tickets for Super Troopers 3 on Thursday. People complaining, results happen. That equals positive feedback. Yeah, but I mean, some of these, I mean, yeah, to a certain extent, if everyone has like the same complaint about something, but when it comes to these things where people are like saying woke, I don't see any wokeness here. I don't, So I think a lot of it, I'll bet you if you were a developer and you were reading a lot of these comments, you're probably going, Jesus Christ, what is wrong with these people? God damn, But then you see complaints like what I have, like, when you're reloading and you come back out of your reload and you're not ADSing like you should be, that's something that needs to be addressed. That's a bug that needs to be fixed, you know. But crying that there is a female in the Marines, and again, the year is 2552, 500 years in the future, you know, I don't understand what the problem is. A superior officer talking down to Master Chief. What's the problem? That happens now. Superior officers talk down to their people all the time. It's just what happens. It's called the chain of command. I just don't understand what the problem is. So I didn't get to finish it yet. No one cares, Mark for life. Shut your dirty mouth, man. Even if the feedback is negative, cause and effect. Yeah, but I mean, just because people complain about it doesn't mean it's going to get changed. You know what I mean? At what point does negative feedback turn into crying? It's a thin line sometimes. Sometimes you know, it makes sense. Okay, this is a little much. Let's tone this down. There's other times where it's like, what are you talking about? You're just projecting that. That's not what that means. That's not what it looks like. You're just making shit up, man. You see the over 40 concert I went to, good times. That's right. We had like 14 people actually won some money at the casino too. That's cool, man. If negative feedback means lose of money, then the effect is your company goes bankrupt. I mean, again, though, you know, like this is something that's been big in other things the last few years. It's always the small minority that are the loudest. Just because someone's the loudest one in the room doesn't mean that they have everyone's intentions there. You know what I'm saying? Like, PlayStation's came out and said that since they've announced that they're getting rid of physical and there's all this noise, right? They said they haven't lost any money. So again, the noise is from a very small amount of people. It just sounds louder than it actually is. And that's kind of the problem we have right now. We have a very small minority that feels like they're speaking for all of us, and they are not. Number one, I don't really give a shit about the whole disc thing. I don't care. You guys could have physical for the rest of your life. I don't care. It doesn't affect me. I don't really care. It doesn't bother me. But it's a conversation because this is a big step in the gaming world. This is kind of an end of an era, right? So of course we're going to talk about it. And you know, I'm over here, you know, going, I really don't care, but a lot of you guys are like for Asha getting rid of 3,200 people, right? So obviously it's not just, you know, this is about us gamers. You guys do care about the corporation. You guys do. So if you guys care about the corporation saving money, this is another way that the corporation can save money. So it's hard because it's like you guys are kind of picking and choosing what you guys want to be mad about. It's weird to me. Free, good morning, man. How you doing? Feedback convinces people to boycott and try to convert people by making non-valid claims that sound more like they're totally different. Happy day, that's right. Content creators were straight up lying about things in campaign evolved. Yeah, absolutely. Got to get the grass cut off the lurk. Have fun, man. I can't find the actual word to use. Feedback was as close I can get. No, feedback is the only word that you can think of to use, shine a neutral or positive light on. Yeah. So like, I mean, it is, I would say it's, you know, it's obviously feedback, negative feedback, positive feedback, whatever, but it's not going to change anything. So there's this big week-long thing that PlayStation people are trying to put together right now where they're just going to boycott. They're not buying any games. They're not even turning on their console, right? I think that's what the play is they're gonna try to hurt Sony for taking away physical discs 2 years from now. So I think that takes place here. It'll be interesting to see how this plays out. Again, it doesn't really affect me any. It doesn't matter to me, but I am interested to see exactly how many people are on board with this program. the physical petition thing has reached 400,000 people or something like that, I think. Still just a drop in the bucket. But either way, we're gonna find the right word because feedback's more mutual understanding, like, hey, this is nice, but add this, tune this, got it. I know a lot of you guys have, your physical discs and things like that. I do. I still have a lot of, 360 stuff. I have totes with each console, and then, things that I've kept, and that's a lot. It takes up a lot of space. It's nice to just have stored somewhere, but when you run out of space, it's kind of like, these probably need to go. I have created all digital platforms here. This one I think is actually Battle Sarah. So this is basically this is like a whole. It's an operating system with everything, all games from like ColecoVision, all the way up to I think the Wii is what I have on this thing. A lot of fun. This one I'm pretty sure is the original Xbox, the OG Xbox here. And then I'm pretty sure that this one is the 360. So these are just hard drives. These ones were easy too, because you just plug them in. And Windows 11, you can just, whatever you're running, Windows 11. And you could fire up these they're basically like consoles. And you can play games directly off your off the PC. This one here, you actually have to boot into it because it has an operating system and everything. Really, really fun to use. But this is kind of like, for me, this is the digital future. I just rebuilt a couple Xboxes. I was doing some 360s. I sold a couple, but I RGH'd, which jailbreak basically, a hardwire jailbreak, a 360 Slim that I've always wanted. I always had the fats, so I finally got one with a 1 terabyte hard drive. I've got a ton of games on it, and it's just awesome. Plugged into our TV, I can fire this thing up anytime that I want, and I can play 360 games with the wife, the kids, whoever. And I love it. I think it's fucking great. I saw not the 360, the Nintendo 64. There's a company called M64, I think is what it is. They just released a new console that is basically a hybrid for the 64. They have brand new controllers that are like wireless ones that are supposed to be pretty badass. They're like $90 a piece. I've been reading up on this thing. It's pretty cool. But you're talking the console is like $230. Then you have the controller, which is another $80, $90, I think. So how many of you guys still have your old consoles and break them out from time to time? And how many of you guys actually play retro games digitally via, whether it be like web browser, because those are starting to pop up now too, is you're able to play retro games through a web browser through different websites, which I think is pretty cool. The word I want to find is okay, you light a paper on fire, what do you get? A fire. Yet some people expect toothpaste. So they want to demand that paper be toothpaste. The words you're looking for is values-based boycott, otherwise known as cancel culture. Good afternoon, peeps. Uncle Bubber. What's going on, buddy? I got interview Tuesday morning at 11:15 a.m. Fuck RA sales positions, sell home security for a local business. Phone interview. I'm fucking nervous about it. You got this, bro. You'll be fine in sales, man. I think you'll clean up pretty well. Is there a need for home security in your area? And right-leaning people were freaking out about cancel culture a lot recently. Yeah, it seems like the same people that were mad about the cancel culture thing immediately flipped the script, and then they wanted the woke canceled. So then they became themselves the cancel culture when they wanted woke to be gone. I don't know. The Office did a joke bit with it. One character was offering another character a nut every time the computer did a reset. So every time there was a computer reset, that character reached out a hand for a nut, and eventually the first character stopped giving a nut. I'll play my PS2 and NES system. I bought a HDMI NES system. Oh, that's cool, man. That was what I was going to say, is that it's kind of hard hooking up a lot of these retro consoles because, these were all pre-HDMI. Very rare. A TV with component video is very rare, and then that only goes back so far. Some consoles had VGA adapters, like the 360. I think the Dreamcast had one. Original PlayStation may have had something like that. I don't know. So I mean, you can hook it up to an old computer screen if you wanted to, but you have to have adapters that are gonna change your AV, your composite video, which is what a lot of the consoles were going back to the original NES. They had the RF modulators or whatever, the RF adapters, but the original NES did have composite video on it, which was pretty high tech at the time. In Kazoo for sure. Okay, then you'll be fine, brother. Is it cold calling? Is it cold calling or is it outside sales? I'm not a fan of either one of them. But if they give you leads, like people have signed up, hey, they want more information, then you call them and then you go to their house and you do a presentation, you sell them things. That I can get on board for. But cold calling sucks. I hated it. Not to talk you out of this. And I don't like outside sales. I don't like knocking on doors. I tried that when I was really young. Not fun. This day and age, you don't want to be knocking on people's doors. Our culture has been doing that computer reset and getting results back every time. That is just expected at this point that we want that nut. What does that mean though? Like, I don't understand your analogy. Like, what are you saying? Like, what's the computer and what's the nut in your analogy? Like, you try to complicate this more than what it is, but it is cancel culture, is not feedback. Yeah, I'm not. I'm not against you, or I just don't understand what the analogy is. Like, what is the computer in the analogy mean? What is the nut? What is the computer reset? I don't understand any of that. If Uncle Bob knocked on my door, I'm buying a security system. Yes, absolutely. That's a long drive, Bubba, but you can do it, bro. I still have my original NES I bought from Sears back in the day, and sometimes when I am in the mood, I will go to Virtual Atari and play the old Atari and Activision games like Pitfall. Hell yeah. I do the same thing. When I need to scratch that old retro itch, I have these and I love it. I can plug these bad boys in. I can use a modern controller. That's one of my complaints, is that with the 360s, it's nice to have that, but good luck trying to find a controller, a 20-year-old controller that doesn't have stick drift or it's been beaten to shit, And I talked about this before. I need to find out if there's a way, after modding the 360, is there a way to get it to recognize modern controllers? I doubt it. I really doubt it. But I just found out. I mean, I just found out the other day that someone has figured out how to get Linux running on a PS5, which in turn is allowing them to use Steam to a certain extent, which is awesome. So they basically unlocked their console. They're getting the full potential out of it now with Linux. The thing is that Linux more than likely doesn't have the actual drivers for the hardware that's in the PlayStation. So it's probably using generic drivers to do a lot of the heavy lifting, but it's still awesome to see that somebody was able to jailbreak it, put a different operating system on it altogether, and then bring in a competitor and somehow play some of those games off. I think that's incredible. It's wild. Now I want to take my kid's PS5, do the same thing, and see what it's capable of. What can you actually do with an unlocked PS5? Once you get into that hardware, what is it capable of? What can you do? I play Baseball Stars on my new system. I love that game and Tecmo Bowl too. Hell yeah. I know, I know. There is a science behind it. It's been reinforced for so long. It's to be expected. I've been kicking ass in PBA bowling. Oh, I thought you were just kind of screwing around with it for a good air. You've been actually getting into it. Good job, man. Not sure yet if cold calling. I hate that shit. Ads, hang on. I hope they give you leads. Can't agree that cancel culture is bad now, but you agree that cancel culture is good, or this is called cognitive dissidence. I don't know if it's actually cancel culture. I mean, it kind of fits in that category. It's almost there's really no nice way of saying it. So I'm just not going to say anything at all. Posted a clip in Discord just now. Got absolutely robbed from a perfect game. Big upset. No. I'm not sure same sided is bad. It's just been happening so long. I just shrug my shoulder and go about my day. So I was slightly confused by your use of the term feedback. I thought you were in defense of the values-based boycott. I'm not trying to argue against. I got you. I know that's why I was trying to find a different word or use that office analogy scene. Got it. So you're saying that? Are you saying that if enough people complain, they just give in and they give them what they want? I don't know. I think the developers, I think they should just continue doing what they're doing, just ignoring a lot of this shit. Just ignore it. It's just noise, man. It's just noise. You know, again, just because someone's screaming is the screaming the loudest in the room doesn't mean they represent the room. So again, there's a lot of noise out there, but they don't speak for everybody. They speak for themselves and a small minority of people. But either way, my whole point was that I'm interested to see exactly how many people are going to take part in this week-long boycott, and then what will the numbers look like down the road if they even share the numbers with us, and will it be enough to even be a blip on the radar for PlayStation? Are they even going to acknowledge this thing, or are they just going to just go on like nothing's happened? That's what I would do. I would just ignore it. I wouldn't even address it, and I'd just play stupid, huh? What? Uh, um, when Sonic looked terrible when it first came out, we all screamed it was bad. They changed it when these Star Wars movies weren't that great. It didn't sell very well. Whenever they casted something and we didn't like it, they changed it. It's been years of reinforcing. Um, yeah, well, I mean, it wasn't just again, there was a lot of people, including Sega, that didn't like the look of Sonic. So I mean, I don't know if I would chalk that one up as a win. They changed it when these Star Wars movies weren't that great. It didn't sell very well. Whenever they casted something and we didn't like it, they changed it. It's been years of reinforcing. I mean, I don't know. Maybe, but Sonic, I'm pretty sure Sonic, well, yeah, there's a lot of people giving it shit, but I'm pretty sure that was because Sega was like, this isn't going to work. No. You need to fix this shit right now. And that was just the trailer. The movie hadn't even come out yet. And I think that's why the movie had to get pushed back. Wasn't it pushed back for that reason? To redo a lot of the scenes and redo the character in general? But yeah, I see what you're saying. I get what you're saying. But again, those are movies. Those are movies and TV shows and things like that. A little different than the video games. It would have to be a lot of people. Not just a handful, right? It would have to be a lot of people. For you to go back and change stuff like that, it has to be either somebody very important, it has to be someone that's controlling your money, or it has to be a very considerable sum of people that are speaking out against it. think the underlying deeper issue here is that when a game developer makes a decision that goes against a certain group's values, that group becomes campaigning, lying, confusing, disorganizing the community that would actually probably the product. The analogy is scenario happens. B scenario happens right after eventually we'll get to the point where a scenario happens. And then when we try to do scenario, see, no one's going to like that. They want to go back to scenario B. They did it to Hogwarts Legacy specifically. The liberals tried a value-based boycott against Hogwarts Legacy. What was that one about? What were they doing? I'll tell you that the only, my wife loved the game. The only thing she hated about it was the spiders. She hated the spiders, man. Yes, movies, but the same problem happens in games too. There's no blurry line in movies and games. It's all the same or similar fan base. Okay. I'm just not really sure. Like those are some good examples there. Again, I think Sonic again was more of a Sega making the decision behind that one. But what in give me an example of something that was boycotted by gamers that was changed. I'm just trying to think off the top of my head. I'm not drawing anything. So what was changed? Like, give me an example of something again that was changed in the video game sector where enough people complained about it or raised suspicion about it that it was actually changed. Currently, we have content creators just making up blatant lines about campaign evolved, and that is equally bad objectively. Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, there again. I would put it under a lie. Sure, there's a lot of things that, but maybe they do. Maybe they're not lying. Maybe they're lying to themselves, and they think they see something that's not really there because they want to see something that's not, so they can complain about it. I don't know. I stopped calling. I think I'm part of the problem too because I do complain a lot. But not to the point where I go out and make these posts and like create all this shit that, I do it right here on my platform. Okay. But I think that there's just a lot of people out there that just want to complain. They just negative Nancy's, man. They just need something to complain about. That makes them feel better. They finally have a soapbox they can stand on and just, regurge all this nonsense. And it sucks. You don't have to be a physical change is cause and effect. Either a character was changed, removed, or a game was boycotted, or people didn't buy it collectively. But lying to yourself in and out of itself is intellectually dishonesty. We're looking at Saints Row. We're looking at Hogwarts. We're looking at South of Midnight. What changed? Again, you're giving me games, but what changed? What changed about these games when enough people were upset about it? What changed? What did these people change? Uh-oh. Ruh-roh. Okay. Woo! It's awesome. More great news. Let's see. That's amazing. That's amazing. So, I'm going to try to hook up one of these. Let's see which one we got going on here. We'll keep the conversation going. I don't even know if this is going to work. Nothing seems to be working today, so. It's not change, it didn't sell. They made it woke, cancel culture came in. Got it. The change was we didn't want this woke stuff, and the change will be that they stop making this work stuff in video games. So you're saying that there was woke stuff in Saint Row, there was woke stuff in Hogwarts, and there was woke stuff in South of Midnight. And because a group of people saw this woke stuff and they didn't purchase the game. They single-handedly made them flops, is what you're saying? All right, we're gonna try to plug this thing in. I don't remember what size this thing is. Should work over here. Oh no, I can't do that. Son of a bitch. It should work on this though. Let's see. No, come back. Come back. There we go. All right, let's see if this works now. The change was we didn't want this woke stuff, and the change will be that they stop making. Okay, but I thought we were already agreed objectively cancel culture is bad. Yes, so it was bad that non-woke people complain so hard about woke stuff that you got it. I don't know, man. That's a pretty big claim to say that a small group of people saw woke things in a game, didn't buy it, and they single-handedly made it a bad seller. I don't know. I think that these games, the ones you mentioned there for sure. I thought Hogwarts Legacy sold pretty well. Saints Row, I think historically Saints Row just never really did good anyhow, right? It was always a GTA clone. I don't think I played the newest one. I remember streaming it. It wasn't very good. It was just kind of very boring, it's kind of an empty game. It just kind of feels like an empty shell of a game. I don't remember any woke stuff in that, but what was woke in these games? And then South of Midnight, I think it was just niche. It didn't appeal to everybody. But it was a very artistic game, very artsy. And it won, and it won a lot of awards and stuff. But I don't remember there being any woke stuff in any of these games. But either way, fuck. Yeah, it's not acknowledging that it's there. Bummer. Sounds to me like something isn't lining up right. I don't know, man. You know what? You figure that if the group was big enough to prevent to single-handedly not make this game a bad seller, I would have heard something about it, right? Like this huge boycott. Like I never heard anything about any of these games. Really, the only time I ever heard South of Midnight being a woke game is here in this room, basically. I've never heard anything about any of these games having any wokeness or any of that to it, so I don't know. Okay, I'm gonna try to. It's showing that it's connected, but it's not. It's not. Open up. So it's bad that non-woke. I don't like when left-leaning paper canceled stuff, and I won't like it when right-leaning people cancel stuff. It's the only objectively fair way to look at this. The only place I've heard Sound of Midnight was here because no one wants to talk about it. I have no problem talking about it. It wasn't a game for me, but I thought everything about it was pretty cool. The animation was fantastic. The cutscenes where they made it look like it's intentionally like stop motion, I thought that was awesome. The storyline was pretty cool, that she's finding her roots as, some like a wizard or something, it was just, I thought it was pretty cool. It was kind of like a Wizard of Oz scenario. She goes to this magical place. It's kind of her home, but not her home after a flood. And she meets all these crazy characters and she gains powers. And I thought it was kind of cool. It just wasn't really my type of game. I didn't see anything wrong with it though. It just wasn't my kind of game. Saints Row, I'll give you that one. Saints Row's never really been a good game. I never really cared for it. Hogwarts Legacy, I don't really care about Harry Potter. I did try playing it, you know, just to see how it would run on my machine here. Runs great. A lot of updates. You wouldn't want the disc version of that game, that's for sure. But I mean, it runs great. I didn't see any. I don't know. I don't know. It's really, really weird, but let's see. I'm gonna have to move some of this stuff around. Maybe I can do this. Do this over here. It must just be this adapter's not working right. Hmm. Let's try this. Beautiful. Okay. Osmond Gold can explain this all better. I'm good. I'm good. He's the biggest complainer of them all. So if you're quoting Osmond Gold, now I understand where it's coming from. That boy is a professional complainer. I'm not for it, but I can't explain the other side's reason well. I got you. Okay. All right. All right. I don't understand the wokeness. I don't understand cancel culture. I don't get it. Again, if you don't like it, just move on. You don't have to always yell and scream about things that you don't like. I don't know. I don't actively root for developers or publishers to do bad. I don't root for a game to be bad just because it has things in it that I may or may not like. I just don't understand it. I don't get it. But now it makes sense. Osmond Gold. Yeah. Okay. Now I get where you're coming from. Okay. I'm gonna take a quick break. I'm gonna try to get this thing plugged in. I don't understand why it's not working, which is crazy to me. So I'm gonna try to get this thing going here and then grab some water, hit the restroom. I'll be back in just a minute. I got it. The little adapter thing was not quite, yeah, not healthy. Not working. Okay, so plugging it directly into the into my gaming PC, everything's working fine now. So, okay. We're gonna get to this here in just a second. Osmond Gold is a lobotomite. Dude is the definition of value based. It's probably stupid enough to think that it compliment. Well, I'm all for Xbox and their choices, so I can find my own words. Trying to explain the words of others is very difficult. On this channel every other day though, so I hear a lot and just sit in the middle on both sides. Yeah. I mean, that's probably the best place to be because again, a lot of the argument on either side of whatever the argument is. I mean, it makes some of it makes sense, some of it doesn't. A lot of it's just I call it parroting. That's where people just jump on a bandwagon and they just keep repeating what they hear, but they don't put any critical thought into it themselves. Not saying that anybody here is like that. I'm just saying that's a problem. That's a big problem we have, not just in gaming, but really everything. Just in general, people are so easily convinced, gullible. I guess you'd say that's a good word. They just jump right on board, and they don't do any research. They don't do any critical thinking whatsoever. They just follow like lemmings. I always hear the term sheep, but sheep only follow you so far. Lemmings, no, I'll watch Osmond Gold's coverage of Campaign Evolve and many other topics. He basically just watches other content creators. Let's have the same opinions in an echo chamber, and then complains about the other side of the table being in an echo chamber, right? I try to do things differently here. I do complain about things, obviously, but I try to get perspective of both sides of the argument. That's why I like when Penguin's here, because he is the exact opposite of me, it seems like. So getting his perspective in a situation, that way I can understand where we're sitting, you know. If we can't come together and have a conversation or a debate or whatnot, and we just live inside our little tribunal bubbles, it doesn't do anybody any good, because then we just get that tribism. At some point, we got to come together and have a conversation. We need to go to the table, break bread with the enemy, whatever. Have a conversation, try to coexist in a lot of this stuff. It seems like that's kind of like, I keep referring to as the lost art of critical thinking. It really is. It just seems like people just don't want to think for themselves anymore. They want to be told what to think, and then they just run with it. I learned value from my mother and father, but I've long since critically thought about them. As I was encouraged to do, I think more people need that in this day and age. When you're going to fight a topic, you have to have both sides. Yeah, there really isn't much of a fight. I'm just trying to understand why, like, the big thing for me recently is physical media. I'm just trying to figure out what the other side's talking about. And you guys within this conversation, I've learned a lot. Now I have a better understanding of the other side of the argument. And I learned some things like the clause that basically says you don't own things. So I kind of get where the fear is on that side of the argument. There's a big fear there that one day the rug's going to be pulled out from underneath you and everything that you purchase is just gone. I don't think that's will ever happen. I don't think that's a thing, but I can see where it is a fear. And now I know. Now I understand. I'm going to try to get this thing moving. I completely forgot how to use this thing too. And of course, there's an update available. Oh, I can't update it. That's right. Let's see if it's going to work. Hey, I love it. Okay. Um, in other news, I did my first legal weed delivery on Saturday. Nice. Are you an Uber driver now? A weed driver? Uber weed? Yeah, I'm just gonna move on. We've already covered it. We covered it enough, I think. But okay, so I'm gonna show you guys this here. So I think a lot of you guys have seen this before. Maybe not all, but this is a an emulator that I built. I didn't build it. I just kind of approved upon. You guys might have heard of this one. It's called Zemu. Usually when you fire this thing up, it's just a window, and at the top there's a couple things going on, and it allows you to bring in your XISO. So basically, the disk, the physical copy of the disk, you have to have the XISO, and then that would start the game. You basically load it in here, kind of like you're loading it into your machine, and it would start the game, play the game, and then when you're done, you'd unload the game, and then you had to put another XISO in there, and blah blah blah. Well, what I did is um I have modded Xboxes where I run my own operating system. All the games are on there. It has images and screenshots and the whole nine. It's basically a whole new machine. I was able to figure out a way to make it work so that this emulator and all of the stuff from my modded machine I could put together. So basically, I turned this into a modded Xbox. So has anybody ever used this before? Has anybody ever seen this program before? Anyone ever tried using this at home? Well, it was delivered for me. Oh, I see what you're saying. You got it delivered to you. Okay. So I'm not going to get in. I'm not going to, I actually, I think this is one of the ones I think I made a video on and how to build these things. I'm not going to really get into the files and stuff because number one, I would need my notes next to me because I don't remember what I did. But basically we just double click on this. This is running directly off the my game PC. So this is what it looks like if I were to hook up my modded Xbox, which I have an HDMI adapter for it that I bought. If I were to plug this in, this is exactly what it looked like. But it's running on an emulator on my PC with a modern controller. So these are all the games I have on here. I don't remember how many, but I've got a ton of games on here. There's the Beatdown game. So I have Sneak King and Big Bumpin' on here. These are all original Xbox games. American Chopper, yeah, I did a video on that one. I actually played it for a little while. First to Fight. This game didn't do very well, but I mean, when this game came, I had to be the first to fight. This game was kind of difficult, but it was awesome. It was an awesome game. It didn't really take off. Conflict Desert Storm 2. I remember playing this with my buddies. Great game. There's Conquer Live and Reloaded. My favorite, Counter-Strike, of course. Got all the crashes on here. Crazy Taxi 3. Crimson Skies. So at one point, I'm not going to do this today, but I want to take some video of Crimson Skies running on here with my settings, okay? And then on my PC with the PC emulator that they just dropped recently to play the 4 original games, using that emulator on my PC to play Crimson Skies and kind of doing a side-by-side comparison to see how they rank. To see how much better or how similar Microsoft's emulator is to the community-built one. Dark Watch, they recently brought this game back. This game, I'm pretty sure this is the game that just came back recently. Really, oh no, it's Painkiller. I'm sorry, that's not this one. Painkiller was the game. Dave Mira, Dead to Rights. Anybody ever play these games? And you had your dog that would like jump in there and attack for you and stuff. That was a pretty cool game. You go ROM hunting tonight? Hell yeah. You would hope Xbox is better, but it's obviously not always the case. Right. Well, that's the thing, because you guys probably read the story that when that happened, people, because apparently they dropped it on PC, and the those games are still in God format, which is, I mean, which I deal with all the time when I deal with my my mods and shit like that. So people are easily able to utilize programs from 20 years ago to strip down the game and get into the actual emulator. They were able to inject some of these emulator files in another emulator that the community is building, and boom, other games started working. So I think Microsoft is probably the better one. And now that people have almost like the source code, really, these other emulators are going to get that much better. So thank you, Microsoft. You did us all a favor. Destroy All Humans 2, Dino Crisis 3. I don't think I've ever played this one before. Doom 3 was incredible. Absolutely incredible at the time. Driver 3. I didn't realize that one was that old. Enter the Matrix. I think this is probably one of the best looking games. And I think one of the only, there's only a handful of games that ran 1080i on the original Xbox. This was one of them. Gotta have some Evil Dead. Fable. Fairly Odd Parents. The Family Guy game. I love this one. Far Cry Instincts, because, you know, the original Far Cry couldn't run on these machines. So they had to have a stripped down version. Evolution, I think, is a better version of this. I never really figured out what the difference was there. It might even be the same game, just with enhanced things and DLC. I don't remember. Finding Nemo. Freedom Fighters is a great game. From Russia with Love is another. It wasn't the best, but it was a good Bond game. These are my favorite. Now this is another game. Pandemic. They're defunct now, but they made Full Spectrum Warrior 1 and 2 here. These games are absolutely incredible when they first came out. It was like military chess. It's such a great concept. I don't know how this didn't get a remaster, remake, or even a third game down the road. I would love to see someone do something with Full Spectrum Warrior, because it's just an amazing game. Futurama. There's Fusion Frenzy. Gauntlet. Ghost Recon 2. Got all the Ghost Recons here. Grand Theft Auto. Gun. Oh, Gun was a tough game at the very end. Half-Life 2. I don't know if this is a prototype or if this was actually released on here. I remember it was on, Orange Box, obviously, but I don't know if this was actually released on Xbox. It might have been. Yeah. Interesting. Now, I know the Dreamcast, they got a prototype that I have. You think it runs like shit on here? Played on the Dreamcast, man. Great Hastings Tournament Paintball. My brother got a copy of this for all of us, for all of us brothers, so we could all play it together. That was a lot of fun. Halo 2. Yep. And then just the multiplayer map pack that they released as well. Gotta have Hitman. Oh, here's another one. Incredible Hulk. I think this is another one of those that ran at a pretty high resolution. And it was in widescreen. I think it was presented in widescreen, which is awesome. Indiana Jones Emperor's Tomb. I would say it's a good game with very sloppy controls. It has the Tomb Raider type tank controls, which are just bad. Indigo Prophecy. Right. Jade Empire, Jet Set Radio Future. Great games. Oh, there you go. There's Kill Switch. Mafia. Manhunt. Manhunt was one of the greatest. Anybody ever play this one? Mark Echo's Getting Up. You were like you always had the tag. You were just tagging things. Max Payne 1 and 2. 2 is my favorite. Love it. Never really got into the mech assaults, but they knew they had to be on here. Medal of Honor, Men of Valor, Mercenaries. I mean, these are all just bangers on here. Ninja Gaiden Black. This right here, this and Splinter Cell Chaos 3 were the 2 games that would make your console cry. I had 2 Xboxes that they didn't necessarily die, but they would start making weird things on the screen, and then they would shut down, thermal shutdowns. I had to repaste a couple Xboxes and build them up a little differently because of Ninja Gaiden Black and Splinter Cell. My favorites, the Outrun series. Painkiller, this is it right here. This is a great game back in the day. They just redid this one, but the story's like really different. It's like 4 different players, and it's not this guy's story anymore. Pariah, I love this game. I don't know why this game didn't take off. Came out in 2005, I do believe, and it had this concept where you would find these upgrade chips to upgrade your weapon, and it was a cool concept. Storyline was pretty decent too. Prince of Persia's, Racing, Wallace and Gromit, Project Snowblind. You guys ever play this one? Psyops. There's Psychonauts. Punisher was a wild game too. Rainbow Six, Rayman, Red Dead Revolver. Got them all, man. Riddick, RoboCop. All the Scooby-Doos. Shenmue. Incredible game. Shenmue is incredible. I'll be right back, guys. daughter was leaving and she needed me for something, so I had to handle that. Simpsons Road Rage, one of my, or a Hit and Run. The Hit and Run or Road? No, it's Hit and Run. One of my favorite games of all time. I love this game. All the Sonics. This is supposedly the best version of this game. The Double Agent. Ricky. The original Battlefronts. These were amazing games when they first came out. Republic Commando, probably my favorite Star Wars game of all time. The Suffering. I think this is the game that had Rob Zombie did the music for. The Thing. Thug 2. Time Splitters. Amazing games. Toe Jam and Earl. Anyone ever play Toe Jam and Earl? Like on the Sega Genesis, like way back. There's Thug, Trivial Pursuit. Never really played the True Crimes. The Warriors. Here's another game. I'm pretty sure this one was in 1080i. Nope, 720p. You played Riddick. That's a good one. I love that game. We should have a throwback game date night. We should. Oh, you mean tonight? It has to be tonight? We can and we will. Return to Wolfenstein. Anyone ever play this game? Fantastic game. X-Men's Legends. Never really got into those either. Here's that terrible, terrible GoldenEye game. Terrible. And I was actually surprised at how many games 50 Cent had. I think he said 3. Who thought to give 50 Cent games, man? All right, let's fire something up here. We've gone through the list. What's a good one? Black is a good one. You know, I recently played through Big Red 1. I had never played this one because when this game came out, I had already got a 360 and I was playing Call of Duty 2, which was on the 360. I had never played through this game until recently. I think it was last year I played through the entire game. Operation Kids Next Door. This is a great game. All right, let's go with Crash Nitro Kart. See if this will tell us anything. Yeah, there we go. Okay. So Microsoft's emulator does 4x. I have this at 6x right now. Hit that Nas, baby. This is one of the games my wife and I like to play together. And this is an easy one to showcase this emulator because the graphics look really, really nice and it supports widescreen better than most games. Fun little game. So, I mean, the game looks and runs pretty damn well. Gotta remember how to get out of this. I think I actually have to do this. Yeah, I do. There used to be there was a series of buttons that you press. I think it was like start, select, both triggers, both bumpers at the same time. You had to hit all those buttons at the same time, and then it would reset the machine. I missed the Need for Speed. The Need for Speed. See what else we got here. I will tell you this. I have actually gone back and forth. Even though Xbox had the better hardware, the PlayStation 2 version of Grand Theft Auto Vice City was better. It was just a better version of the game. It had widescreen support. There was something else with it as well. And I've tried mimicking it. I've done everything I can, and I just cannot get the Xbox version to look and play like the PlayStation 2 version. So there were some games, even though Xbox had the better hardware, there were some games that just played better on PlayStation. I think it's always been like that, though. Certain games just played better on a different on either console. Yeah, Xbox has a Need for Speed Most Wanted that's available. It's not the same game. I've tried it. Yeah, I just don't hit the same at all. Vehicle progress, part progress. You're saying that the Need for Speed game is different on both consoles? Dolby Digital. See, this game is stretched. It's a normal 4x3.
Understand the concept of love. Understand the concept of love. Yo! Yeah! Tight!
This is a game that needs to be brought over immediately. This is running at 6x. This is what the game looks like. Pretty good, if I do say so myself. Oh. All right, so I'm going to show you guys a couple different things here. We're going to go into resolution. I'm going to take this all the way back to 1x. There you go. This is what the game looked like originally. Now, we'll take this up to 6x. Huge difference. Let's see how high we can go. I'll try going 8. We might start seeing some negative results here. 8's working. There you go. We'll stretch it for the screen.
Yo! Yeah! Yo! Yeah! Yo! Yo!
All right.
Yo!
We're getting some audio glitches. You can probably hear that. Let's bring this back a little bit. There you go. Interesting. What's up, Beat Runner? I'm gonna have to get I'm up and running now. Well, I play that Game Pass train game. I think about thinking by box art it would be like this game. Maybe, you know, it was glorified Subway Surfer. Oh, was it? See, I thought that's what this was, or what that game was like a twist on this. I don't remember what buttons do what. I just know jump. Either way. So this emulator, and I'm also a couple updates behind too. So later if I get an opportunity to update this, I will. And we'll see what the difference is. But I mean, I don't think I've even plugged this thing in the last year. So it's got to be way behind. So again, this is the emulator Zemu with modified, with basically what's the operating system, the dashboard, I guess you'd call it, from a modified Xbox. Everything put together. Aggressive Inline was a skating game for PS2. And that's what I'm running here. Let's see. We got to play a game like Black. Now this one has a port. I'm pretty sure this one is backwards compatible on the 360, or probably on all the consoles, right? So this one already has a pretty good look to it because it already has a dedicated emulator on Xbox's consoles to go back and play it. So this one I don't expect to look much different. So it has a Need for Speed Most Wanted that's available. It's not the same game. So is it the one that's on here? Are you talking about the Xbox, the original Xbox? There was a multiplayer Junkman part cheat code. It would add Burger King challenge, and upon completion would unlock them. So any tier car can be maxed out 250 mile an hour on the PS2. It was glorious. They made replacement, made a whole new Need for Speed with the same title. Had nothing to do with the original. Oh, that's interesting. Same developer and all that? Blocks on yeah. I'm pretty sure I played it over there. Oh, she froze or what? Says it's still running. Oh, it's reset. Yeah, so this it's Xbox Media Center for Gamers. This is the dashboard that I'm running within the emulator. So again, if you go download Zemu, it's just going to be the emulator. It's not going to have all this fancy shit and all that. This is something I had to build onto it. So I just took the emulator and I just added my own files and created this. BMX Triple X, remember this game? Let's see if it even works. I think some games I have to dial down the resolution. If I go too aggressive, it won't start. I think that's what's going on here. There it goes. It'll play. All right, I guess we go tour, baby. Let's go with the Amish rider. Ooh. Oh, I can't. There you go. I have to unlock the Amish guy. I'm gonna get a strike.
Hot salty nutsack! I got a hot salty nutsack here!
The graphics are actually pretty decent.
I think I'm lost. Ah!
Wanna ride me like a bike? I sit on your face and pedal your ears.
accent on your face and pedal your ears. That's great, dude. Oh, Jesus. Stop. Amos cheat code has to exist. Oh, I'm sure. I am 100% sure. Somewheres, there's a street sweeper. Sup, Nuke? What's going on, man? How big is the level? Like, it won't even let me go anywhere. I guess I have to go back this way. Oh, I got fucking run over. I don't think I've ever played this game. Oh my God. Jesus. There we go. There we go. Oh, okay. Can't do a backflip.
Skate backwards.
So, Nuke, how you doing, buddy? How goes it, man? Sketchy. That was sketchy. Okay. All right, so it's a Matt Hoffman Pro BMX or whatever. I think it's just dirty. It's got some dirtiness to it. I mean, you've obviously heard the lady say a couple things, and I think there's either a code or there's a way that they're also nude. Some of these characters are nude. I don't know. But you get the idea. I even modified it so that the Xbox logo is blue. I mean, it's fun modding and playing with this shit. I'm gonna have to I'll have to edit that song out later. America's Army. I remember playing that one. Sucks that black doesn't run. Let's play some Sneak King. Bro got T-bone and words popped up in the top corner. It says awkward landing. Yeah. I mean, they weren't wrong. That's not the real reason, but yeah, it's not wrong. Oh no, this one doesn't work either. Okay. Oh, it does. Okay, cool. It's kind of working. It's like a Splinter Cell meets The King. Look, I'm the king. Fat king. All right. I have to go deliver food to somebody. Here. It's morning and you've got enormous omelet sandwiches to give away. Make 3 deliveries to the hungry folks in the sawmill and consider this breakfast mission accomplished. Press A button to deliver food, but try not to be seen. Accept. This game is ridiculous. Boom. Okay. He can dance. So now I need to go back and I need to play this on the 360 because it's the same game, but just better graphics, obviously. Oh. I did it. Boom. I got a C rank. Aw. Let's hide in here and wait. No one could see me in this box in the back of this truck. I'll get out. No one's coming to me. I can't hide. Cul-de-sac, construction site, in downtown. Has anyone ever played this game before? No one's ever played this? The man that made this decision had too many drugs. Now, I don't personally know what that looks like. I assume that it's a lie, but whatever it was, he had it. Yes, I agree. This is a ridiculous game. Ridiculous. Let's try Burnout. You were saying that the Most Wanted game, Need for Speed Most Wanted, is different on this? A lot of asses here. I do not have Need for Speed. I have Midnight Club, but no Need for Speed. I got a NASCAR game on here. How do I have NASCAR, but I don't have... Crazy, dude. Absolutely crazy. What was the other one you said? Burnout? Oh, Burnout 3? Place game, but the original is yes. The EA Most Wanted from, I don't know, 2020 is not. Oh, okay. I got it. Okay, I see what you're saying. So it's not this game here. Got it. Too many games. Too many games. The one we love is Racing for Pink Slips against Razor. Uh-oh. She stopped loading. That's not a good sign. There you go. You know. I do not know. So you're saying that they made a Need for Speed Most Wanted in the 2020s that was a complete removal from the original game? I thought you were saying that like it was different on here. Most Wanted 2005, good. Most Wanted 2012, bad. Okay, got it. So that would have been on a completely different system. That would have been, I mean, that still would have been a year before new consoles came out. So that would have been PS3, 360 era. Work, damn it, work. Ugh. This one doesn't want to work either. Bummer. Another one of my favorite. I love this game. Tricky. Oh shit, we can't play this one. The music. Fuck. Can't play this one either. Damn it. I always get in trouble with music. I spent over the weekend, I spent an hour or so trying to trim shit out because YouTube constantly wants to threaten my life. Doesn't matter which platform the 2005 is on. Got it. Okay. Shadow Ops. Wallace and Gromit. Here's Pocket Bike, the Pocket Bike Racer. Razor was the main bad guy who cut your fuel injection intake when racing for pink slips. Then you spend the whole game racing others for pink slips. Oh, I gotcha. Yeah, I don't think I ever played the game. I remember Burnout. I think so. I got my 360 on launch day, but my plan was I was going to sell it. But over Thanksgiving, because it came out like the day before Thanksgiving, I was like, I want to keep this thing. So I opened it up, and there were demos, and Burnout 3 was one of the demos, and then there was the first, I think it was one of the levels of Call of Duty 2, and then there was like 3 demos when it dropped. And I was like, I gotta have Call of Duty 2. I have to. So Black Friday, I went out and bought Call of Duty 2, and I kept my 360, and the rest is history. And 2 years later, I got the Red Ring of Death. And I fixed it myself. Try this one. Is that 007 GoldenEye with Shannon Elizabeth? I have no idea. I didn't know she was in any of them. I usually play as Whopper Jr. Oh! Oh! How do you fire things? Oh, I guess I already did. Oh shit, I went off. Shortcut. Oh, Brooke Burkett got hit. Get off me, Brooke Burke. Oh! She passed me last time. Game is ridiculous. Not bad for $5 at Burger King. It was Shannon Elizabeth in one of the games. I don't remember that. Favorite car from 2005 Most Wanted. Mine is the Porsche 911 T5. Good. Clips. As a kid, probably was a fan of the Ford GT at the time. Is this is the Rogue Agent one? This is the bad. This is the bad 007 game. And it's not even, you're not even playing as Bond. You're playing as an agent who was dismissed because he was a little brutal. And the golden eye is something he has. He has a golden eye. Yeah. See where I'm going with this? Yeah. No preview on this one. Transfer to the dark side of the Bond universe as an aspiring agent. You can customize and upgrade your villain persona and wreak havoc as you make your unrelenting rise to the ranks. You cross paths with such legendary allies and enemies as Oddjob, Scaramanga, Xenia Onatop, and Pussy Galore. Oh man, yeah, this was they phoned this one in, man. This was this was a bad game. Yeah, she's been posting about it on a bunch of her IG, and someone apparently brought the promo poster with her for to sign at a convention recently. That she was in this game? I had no idea. I don't know if I'd want my name to even be associated with this. So, just a little tidbit of information here for you. We were talking about the God files earlier. This is something they started back with the original. What it is when you save a game to the hard drive, it automatically creates a folder with a number on it, and then it puts all the files inside of it. It's called God or Game on Demand. It's still being used to this day. But this number up here, 454-100-5D, that is the title ID. So if you were to go into the game files and you go into content, and then it's like the folder that has like 7 or 8 zeros, 9 zeros, maybe it's more than that. You go in there and then you'll find a bunch of folders with these numbers, and that's how the game is organized on your console. So if you ever heard the term God files and Xbox in the same sentence, that's what it's referring to. As of days, I always played Nissan, Mitsubishi, or Subaru. OTOP was peak Famke Janssen. Yes, she was. think Shannon Elizabeth was in the actual GoldenEye, not this. Oh, I don't remember her being in it. She would have been pretty young too. I mean, maybe she as a little girl. Because you got to think GoldenEye came out, what, 96, 97? She would have been young. I don't know. Got it. Okay. So she's not in that abomination. Thank God. We get Burnout to work. That's fine. Cold Fear. Not the movie, just the game. Oh. Okay. Who was she in the GoldenEye game? No, I'm just saying that she wouldn't have been old enough to be a Bond girl. She would have been too young to be a Bond girl, unless, I mean, I don't remember. I mean, they were most Bond girls were, by the youngest, early 20s. All right, let's see. Let's find one more game to take a look at here. One that doesn't have a long intro. Can't do that. Some of these I got to be careful with because the music will get me in instant trouble. Was Shannon Elizabeth in the GoldenEye video game on Nintendo 64? No, she was not. It says she played the character Serena St. Germain in 2004 video game 007 Everything or Nothing. So GoldenEye came out in 97, but the game that she was in came out 7 years after that. How old was Shannon Elizabeth in 1997? Oh, she's older than I thought. She was actually 23 in 97, so she would have been fine. So she was one of the older ones on the cast, because I think majority of them were 18 when that movie came out. So anyhow, yeah, so she was in Everything or Nothing. Yeah. Okay. All right. Hopefully we don't have to watch all the cutscenes and stuff like that. We just get right into the very first level here. Never mind. She was in Everything or Nothing, which came out in 2003. Her IMDb says she was born in 73. She's older than me. This looks really good. When was this released? 2000s or pre? And still fine. Well, back to work, sadly. Aw. Well, something good to have you here, man. I don't think I've ever played Everything or Nothing. Maybe I have. I don't remember. I just don't remember being in any of the Bond games, but. Are you talking about this game right here? This is called Pariah. This came out in 2005, I do believe. It was like March or April of 2005. This is one of the first games I was actually involved in on a internet basis. So there was this guy, I don't remember his name now. I think his name is Morgan or something like that. I don't know. And I got involved in this game early because I had played the demo and I was really interested in it. And Tommy Tallarico was doing the fucking music for it. And, so there was a lot of stuff going on for this game. It was going to be a blockbuster, awesome game. And it came out and it didn't do well at all. I don't know what happened. I think there were just other things out there that just people are interested in. The multiplayer was fucking awesome. So I was involved in this, and I had done a couple of contests, and we had done a couple things on their channel, and it was pretty cool. I have a poster and a couple other things from them that I'd done for raffles and some other shit. But when this game came out, I was so pumped, and it kind of flopped. Just no one was really interested in it. It was crazy. What happened? What happened, man? There it goes. Kind of wants to load. I think it was just too much. It crashed the emulator, maybe. Nope, emulator's still working. Oh, I'd love to be able to play this one for you, but yeah, I don't know if this game was backwards compatible. It says I have a trainer, but I don't know. May 3rd of 2005. How do I get the trainers to work? This is different than what I'm used to here. Settings. Change options, context. It says it has a trainer, but I don't know how to get to the trainer. I have already forgotten. Sorry. Let's try it again. I'm just going to run it. I'm going to run it at 1x. I'm not going to do anything crazy. I'm going to see if we can maybe get in the game first, and then I'll start cranking it up. If not, we'll switch over to the 360, and we'll try the 360 next. I need to do some work on this. I haven't maintained this thing at all, and there's updates that I'm missing, and yeah, it doesn't want to run this game. Come on, baby, you can do it. No. Yeah, I don't think it's gonna work. Oh. I think this is where we got last time too, isn't it? And this froze right here. It's still running. The emulator's not crashing. The game's just not able to load for some reason. I'm running on a build from 24. That works. All right, the only thing I can think of is maybe the system memory, because I'm doubling the memory. That's a nice thing the emulator allows you to do. Like people were able to hard mod their machines and put more RAM, but it only had 64 to begin with. I was gonna shut her down. Sorry, bro. Sorry, brother. I'll put a little more work into it. I'll get it going again. I would love to. I have Pariah somewhere. It's in my one of my tubs of old video game stuff. Let's see if I can find the disc. Does anybody know here? Let's just look it up. First thing I get is why Pariah won't be added to backwards compatibility. And it's a video. I don't want to watch a video, especially if it's 16 minutes long. I think there was an actual PC port of the game. Yeah, the only way, it looks like the only way people are able to play it is on the original Xbox. So it looks like the emulator, I mean, I might be able to get it running, but I'll probably just have to break the Xbox out and do it that way. Can we watch my PBA clip I posted in Discord? Unfortunately, I cannot. I don't have Discord on my gaming PC, and I don't have a way to show it to you on my stream PC. And that's where everything is on my stream PC. I'm gonna try to plug this thing in. This is nice. This is just a little. It's just a shell, external hard drive shell that you can put any little quick release up here. You can put any hard drive you want in there. I have a 500 gig SSD in here, I do believe. Let's see. No, this is a terabyte. 1 terabyte SSD. And this has got the this has got my the 360 emulator on it called Xenia. The nice thing about this is it has a built-in cable. So I don't, like on this one here, I actually have to have a separate cable in order to plug this thing in. And it's kind of it'd be nice to use it now, because now I got to reach around this whole damn thing to get to it. But here, give me a second. I'll be right back. Bad news, ladies and germs. I don't know what happened, but apparently this one isn't. Well, that's good news though, because I could use this in a different project. But this one has Battle Sarah on it as well. What size is this hard drive? Oh, it's running Linux. That's right. Let's see. All right, I'm pretty sure it's a 2 terabyte drive. Okay, no worries. I do love the new clip feature in Discord. Not sure if you noticed that, but any game I'm playing on PC, as long as I have Discord open, which is all the time, I can clip any game. Just need to add a button to my Stream Deck for it too. Oh, that's cool. No, I clip all my stuff in OBS while I'm streaming, and then I go through it later. So it actually saves internally on my hard drive. When you guys clip it, it stays on Twitch or whatever, but that's a cool feature. I like it. All right, what I'm going to do is I'm going to take a quick break. I'm going to go hit the restroom. When I come back, I think I've shown you guys Battle Sarah before. I'm going to show it to you again. This is it's an operating system. That's all it is. It's just a whole operating system, Linux based, obviously. It's one big emulation machine. It emulates every console ever made. It's just up to you to get the ROMs, basically. So I'm pretty sure I have this 2 terabyte drive almost completely full of all games ranging from the ColecoVision, Magnavox, whatever, all the way up to, I think Wii is where it ends. So I'm going to fire this up, but I have to boot from the hard drive. So I have to like restart the computer and boot from it because it's an operating system. I can't do like what I was just doing with the Xbox there. So when I come back, we're going to do that. And I'll show you guys what this thing's all about, which is really fucking cool. So don't go anywhere. Okay. I am back. I have more information for you guys. So we're talking about the leaked roadmap supposedly to the disc to digital program that Xbox has been working on for a few years. Um, More information is here now. Apparently, it's not just this one guy. A couple other places have leaked it as well. Whether they all have it themselves or if they're just taking it from this one person and saying that they found the leak. You know what I'm saying? It's hard to know if it was just one person that found it and leaked it everywhere, or if several different people have the same leak and they're reporting it. They're on their own. I don't know. But this is saying that it indicates that they're going to officially launch it this month. Initiative aims to bridge the physical game collections within all digital ecosystem, bridging the gap between or before Xbox transitions to future diskless hardware, such as the rumored Project Helix. So this is supposedly how the roadmap explains this thing. Dynamic license transfers. When you insert an Xbox One or Xbox Series, so it doesn't say anything about original Xbox, just one, or not even 360, just one in Series X games. So that right there is a little, I don't know. Do we believe that? Anyhow, either one of those into a console with a disk drive, the system scans a unique per disk ID. So this is what we were talking about. This grants your Microsoft account a digital entitlement to download and play the game without needing the disk. No infinite duplication. The digital license is inherently tied to that specific physical disk. If you sell, trade, or lend the physical disk to a friend, the next person to insert it into their console will claim the entitlement, immediately revoking the. So, okay, this is exactly what we had talked about. This is the way that I had said this is probably the most viable way to make this happen and the best way, really, because everyone wins. There's really no downside to this. Publisher opt-in and pricing. Now, this is where we get a little crazy. The program is entirely optional for third-party developers. According to the leaked email, publishers retain total control over rights and branding, and they can even choose to charge a small fee for the digital conversion if they wish. So it looks like the people that control the secondhand market then would be the original publishers and developers of the game, which kind of seems fair, but not at the same time. I mean, once your product's sold, it's out. We would call this a double dip. So, if you bought Halo 4 on Xbox One, or let's just say Halo 5, whatever, Halo 5 on Xbox One, the physical copy, you could plug that fucker in and get a digital license. But if Microsoft or what are they, Halo Studios now, or 343, whatever, if they wanted to, they could charge you for the digital license, which means that you'd have to pay for the game twice, right? One when you originally bought it, and then again to switch to turn your physical license or your physical copy into a digital license. Now, the question here, and another thing that kind of like brings this whole theory to its knees, is what if I do go through the process, right? And then I decide I want to sell my disc, right? So then I sell my disc or I give it to my buddy or whatever. Then he has the option to do the same thing, which means that my license goes away, which means that I paid for something and now it's gone away. So that, again, that doesn't make any sense either. So charging people, I don't think that's going to happen, but the rest of it sounds legit. Again, why would we give the publishers an option to double dip on something we've already purchased? Just doesn't make sense. The extended roadmap, this month, supposedly, public launch of the disc to digital program for the Xbox One and Xbox Series X, titles following a private beta for Xbox insiders in July. So that's what we really need to know. Did Xbox insiders have access to this program? If they've already been using it? If anybody could stand up and say yes, then we can breathe some life into this rumor. But as of right now, it doesn't sound right. They're saying the full launch of the Xbox backward compatibility program on PC will be in October. This will allow PC gamers to play original Xbox titles directly through the Xbox Store, Xbox Game Pass via dedicated built-in emulator. That sounds about right, but again, why would they only give us 4 random games now, but then the world opens up in October? Why wouldn't they give us 20 or more, you know? So that that one's hard to believe as well. That's just for this year. Now, next year, going into 2027, 28, transition of the Xbox 360 catalog to next generation Xbox devices and PCs. These older titles will be handled via emulation on a title by title certification process, rather than working automatically out of the box like modern discs. So it sounds like they're only focusing on Xbox One and Series X discs for now. And then next year, they'll start getting into the 360. But there's no mention of OG Xbox games, so that might be next year as well. So, I mean, there's believable stuff here, but some of it doesn't make sense. So I don't know. Is it rumor? Is it true? How old is the email? I mean, a lot of because could have changed since this, took place. This could have been something that was leaked, but what was leaked was from a year ago. We don't really know. Other than that, we don't really know a whole lot. So, sorry, I stepped out a minute to check out the game. No worries. Did you just double dip that chip? You dip once and that you end it. That's right. I haven't had anything, and I've done insider stuff. Okay, so then unless it's between a small, I would say it's probably going to be like a small group of people that are probably under NDA. That's my thought. So probably insiders that have been around for a while that really add value to the insider program, giving feedback, giving good feedback. I would imagine that there's probably a small number of people that are utilizing this right now, but again, we don't really know until someone speaks up. So, plus everything you read sounds one for one things you've said. So if it's true, you're very, very much in their head or lucky. I mean, it makes sense. The only thing that didn't make sense was if there's a unique identifier on each individual disc. If there wasn't, and each disc, each copy of whatever is all the same, there's no way to tell them apart, then the whole theory falls through. But it sounds like this is saying there is. But again, I don't know. I'm not an engineer. I don't have anything to do with gaming development, so I couldn't tell you, but that it sounds legit. But the allowing developers and publishers, allowing them to charge you to do the physical to digital doesn't make sense to me. Because I think what's going to happen is if this is true, all of this sounds great until you add the ability for them to charge you more, and then you're going to lose people again. So if I were Asha and this is true, I would get rid of the ability to charge that last piece there about letting the developers charge you to do it and just make it free. If Asha does that, then then you know what? I'm starting to gain a little confidence in this woman. Right now, I don't really know. She hasn't really shown me anything. She hasn't really shown me what she can do or any. It's just a lot of talking right now. Just a lot of talking. So if that would be a great way to bring me into the fold, because then I'll be part of the conversation a little more. Right now, I'm just kind of like, yeah, we're just going to kind of watch this woman go down with the ship, because I still think that's part of what's going on. But if this were to come out the way that we were thinking, my thought, it's a big win, huge win for Xbox, huge, because that means that PlayStation would have to scramble to do the exact same thing. So anyhow, there's that. All right, I'm gonna reboot this thing, and we're gonna get into Bad Sarah, and I'm gonna show you guys what that's all about. Here, let's see if this works. And I haven't changed anything, so it should automatically, I think I have it set so it automatically just boots from USB. And since it's Linux, it should be fine. So once it restarts, it should automatically just boot directly into Bad Sarah. I shouldn't have to press anything. We'll see. Fingers crossed. Yeah, when you read it, I was just thinking in my head, man, whoever this reporter is, It does not like it. I'm just gonna let it do its thing. Doesn't like it. It's trying to load off the UEFI, and because it's Linux, and I don't have it set up for that, it doesn't like it. Let's try this a different way. F11, baby. There we go. All right, let's boot off of option priorities. F11. That's the button I'm looking for here. And I'm on a 65%er, so I have to hold a couple different keys. Come on, baby. There we go. All right, we're going to load off of this. Yeah, it's not going to work. So since I last used this, I switched to secure boot on 100% of the time, and it doesn't like that the operating system on this disk isn't utilizing that. So I'm going to have to change that later. I don't have time to be doing that now. So that's out. Sorry, guys. Sorry. I'll have to show you another day. All right. Last thing here. Let's look and see if Game Pass has released anything else. Interesting. Okay. Corsair Cove. Build a sprawling pirate haven, raise a fleet to explore the high seas and take on the crown to keep the age of piracy alive. From ale to flintlock pistols, and from scallywags to swashbucklers, you'll need to manage complex production chains and govern a rowdy crew to reign supreme over the seas. So what is this, like SimCity Pirates? It's interesting. Small download, it's only 30 gigs. That sounds like a smoky game right there. Here, come take a look with me. Called Cove.
The pirate's way of life is under attack. Our very survival hangs by a thread.
It's a city builder.
But this is where the dream begins, mate. You'll start small with a simple shantytown, but soon it'll be much more.
Good. Now we can build a ship.
Build wherever you like, and reach heights others wouldn't dare. Keep your crew happy, set up production lines, and run a tight ship. With enough resources, you can extend your reach, build mighty ships, and explore the seven seas.
No scars, no glory. We must survive this assault any way we can.
Will you rule the seas, plunder great treasures, become a legend, or dare to claim it all? So, matey, how will you build your legacy?
Just hit Game Pass. I'll check it out. Not that I need another game to play. Right. I saw a woman. It's woke. I saw 2 women. Might want to start complaining about it now then. That looks like that's it. Hell is Us, Halo, Zenless Zone Zero, and Mistfall Hunter. So that is all. 'Tis all. So it sound like Densha Attack or whatever's not worth it. I haven't even started it. I haven't even started it yet, man. Crazy, dude. Crazy. All right. I apologize about Battle of Sarah. I'm gonna get that. I'll get that straightened out, and we'll figure it out. And I'll do a little thing. I'll do a little day. I'll get it running first, and then we'll jump in here and we'll just kind of screw around and play some games. I started playing I Know a Guy on Steam. Mistfall is amazing. Mistfall is dope. Arc Raiders with swords and magic. That's right. Someone said it was it's an extraction shooter, right? But someone was saying that it's like a no, it's not. It's an extraction ARPG. So I thought someone was saying this is like I lost it. They were saying it's like Hunt Showdown. It's like a Souls game meets Hunt Showdown. I think that's the way it was explained to me. This looks more like that. Is it called Naruto Blade Point or something like that? It was a BR game, but it was like a sword fighting game. So there was like 10 people on the map, and you just kept running into each other, fighting each other, and then it was last man standing situation, right? Isn't that's kind of what this reminds me of. I never really played that game. I remember, that was one of those games, like I was saying, like it seems like everyone's just trying to put the extraction into every other title out there. That was one of those things like, it's like not every game has to be a BR, When I think BR, I'm thinking a first person shooter. Well, I guess a shooter. We'll just say that. So when they brought in this BR game, which is like a sword fighting thing, I'm like, what the hell is this? We don't need this, man. Like Hunt more, yes. 100% like Hunt Showdown. You hit it right on the head. Very close, but very different than Blade Point. It's not as much PvP. It's a lot of PvE. Blade Point's not a BR? Oh, okay. Maybe I got that wrong. There was a sword fighting game that was a BR. It was really fucking weird. Maybe that's not the one. Maybe I'm thinking of something else. I don't know. All right. I think that's it. That tis it. Nothing else. What's going on over on Steam World here? Steam is having a Cyberpunk Fest. Discounts, demos, and more. Forever Winter. People have been telling me about that game. It looks like a it's another niche game, kind of like Marathon. It's an extraction shooter, but it looks very niche. It looks kind of like what Arc Raiders was a little grittier, and you could aim down sights. That's kind of what Forever Winter looks like. And I think Forever Winter, actually, it did. It came out well before. This game's been out for a couple of years, I do believe. Interesting. Not really. Cyberpunk. Cyberpunk is $17.99 right now. Here, let's look at this together. Yeah, Cyberpunk. Do you have to buy the DLC? I can't remember. Or is that baked in? You have to buy it. Okay. So if you want the Ultimate Edition, it's only $33 right now. Not bad. And I think they just did another update to it as well. Fun game if you never played it. It's well worth it. Blade Point is a VR. Oh, okay. That's what I thought. That's what I thought. Myst is not. The only similarity of Myst and Blade Point is swords. Yeah. I never said it was a VR. My point was, is that it's one of those things where, like, not everything has to be an extraction shooter, just like Mistfall, or not Mistfall, but Blade Point. Not everything has to be a BR. That was my point, is that you don't have to shoehorn in the trendy titles just to sell a game, but you know, it is what it is. All right, so Cyberpunk, that's a great deal if you're looking to play something that's been out for a minute, that is completely different than when it originally released. Again, for the when we were talking physical and talk about like the full game on the disc, Cyberpunk is a game that has the full game on the disc when it came out, and you do not want to play that game. That's a game that the physical copy is pretty worthless. I never played The Ascent. I heard that was a pretty good one. Top-down shooter. RoboCop. This game is great. The spin-off, the one where you're in the building, that game was in really bad shape when it came out. A few side gigs to finish up for The Last Person, and then I'm heading for Endgame and Cyberpunk. There you go. I've already got all the endings. Now I just need to go and finish Phantom Liberty, which I think I'm halfway through that. I just never finished it. Stray, Dead Zone Rogue. This is a fun game. I played that with Manic, and I think Smokey was in there. Fun game. Gets old after a while. This one right here. I can't recommend this game. The Unfinished Business was unless they fixed it, it was really, really bad when it came out. Wolfenstein Youngblood. This is a fun game. For $5, that's a good deal right there. It's not the Wolfenstein that you know. It's his kids. It's different, but it's cool. Captain Hardcore. Fog Piercer. Nobody Wants to Die. I played that game for you guys. You're a detective trying to figure out a murder mystery. A lot of games in here. Watch Dogs Legion. Doggenstein. Tell me AI didn't do that cover. Tell me AI did not make that cover there. Come on now. Does it tell you now that when there's here? Let's go to this homepage. Does it? I thought Steam games were like telling people when AI was involved in the making of game. Did they not do that anymore? Maybe they did away with it. No, right here. The developer described how their game uses AI generated content like this: AI voiceover, AI soundtrack, and AI cover art. So there you go. So it's still here. I thought they were removing this because someone said that they were crazy for doing this. I think it was Tim Sweeney. Tim Sweeney said, "Dude, you're an animal. You shouldn't be doing this kind of shit." Oh, Far Cry 3 Blood Dragon, another great game. Not on sale though. How is this not on sale? This was an incredible game. I highly recommend everybody play this. I mean, just for the laughs alone. Not a very long game, but it's a lot of fun. All right, I'm done. Anyone see the new AI videos of people skateboarding, but they are riding dogs? It's like, no. Someone put an AI video up in Discord of some guy on a fucking massive monitor. Fake as fuck, guys. Just so you know, that's not real. I think it's hilarious, though. That is pretty funny. Okay. Put it in Discord. Yeah, put it in Discord, man. Yeah, it's a green screen. If you look closely at his face, it gets all distorted. Oh, yeah. Well, I mean, when you first look, he's looking at his actual monitor, whatever's sitting there at the desk or whatever, right? And then as the camera pans around, he goes to, oh, I got to look up here, and oh, I got to look over here. You could tell it, it's just all, it's nonsense, of course, but first off, there's no need for a screen that large, and there's no need for you to be sitting that close to it. That's nonsense. So, all right, I'm gonna call it right here. I wasn't set up to really play any games today. That's the reason I did what I did. I still got this VCR project I'm working on here, and I'm gonna try to finish it up. Tomorrow we should be back to games. I just got to get this thing done first. So I got a lot of video editing in my future. And I'm not sure what we'll be playing. Something. We'll be playing something. I really want to get Battle Sarah running for you guys so you can see this thing in working and what I'm actually been talking about. At one point I had a dedicated PC. I ended up selling it, but it was just this little cheap PC that I had put together running Battle Sarah, and it was hooked up to the TV, and the wife and I were playing games. Like, we were having a blast. She was a little upset that I took it and sold it. I made $300 off it, so I'm not going to complain. Not going to complain. So, all right, guys, everyone, thank you so much for being here today. I will be here. I'll try to be here a little bit earlier tomorrow and have things running properly for you. We'll have a better day of it. But yeah, enjoy your Monday, and I'll see you tomorrow. Peace out.